Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Elmhurst Field for NCAA Women's Soccer Live on BlueJayTV.com. I'm Kevin Jude. Tonight's a doubleheader on Blue Jay TV. We start with Elmhurst College women taking on Coe College. The men will follow at approximately 5 p.m. Women's game, both teams enter today with an identical 5-1-1 record. As we are just about set to get things started, we'll run down the starting lineups here momentarily. As the opening touch, and we are underway from Elmhurst Field. For Elmhurst, we'll start with their lineup. Maddie Fitzpatrick in goal, joined by Samantha Perry, Kelly Fredrickson, Shannon Pimmel, Jackie Belmonte, Sydney Gocius, Morgan Geimer, Amy Bashan, Katie Bashan, Alyssa Angelo, and Biba Beckwith. For the Cohawks, Kaylee Weems starts in goal. On the field for Coe, also Jenny Snook, Hannah Torrey, Alicia Schaller, Courtney Rogers, Danica Mason, Sarah Fatala, Lisa Frank, Caitlin Janacek, Ashley Kupka, and Tessa Holm. Weems enters the game in goal for Coe. 7 goals allowed, a 1.03 goals against average, 36 saves. 2 shutouts. Maddie Fitzpatrick, 3 goals allowed, 0.48 goals against average. Elmhurst defense has been very stingy in the early part of the season. 26 saves and a pair of shutouts. 4 shutouts total for the Blue Jays. 2 of those team shutouts, split between Fitzpatrick and Olivia Such. Elmhurst controls on the defensive side. Headed back by Snook, out of play. A throw-in coming from the far side of the field for the Blue Jays. Elmhurst fresh off a victory on Sunday afternoon out at Marian University in Wisconsin. Blue Jays fell behind early, but came back with 3 unanswered to close the match for a 3-1 victory. Morgan Geimer and Amy Bashan were the offensive stars for the Blue Jays. Bashan with the game-tying goal off a feed from Geimer. Geimer then the following 2 goals, both of those with being assisted by Bashan. So a 5-point night for Morgan Geimer and a 4-point day for Amy Bashan. Speaking of Bashan, here she is out at the 30-yard line, can't control, steered away by Coe. Amy Bashan, the national co-leader in assists in all of Division III right now. She's got 9 through the first 7 games. That is tops in all of Division III. Elmhurst looking for win number 6 on the season, coming against a quality team in Coe, 5-1-1 on the year for the Cohawks. Blue Jays ranked 7th in the latest NSCAA Central Region poll. Here's Katie Bashan in the midfield for the Blue Jays. Her pass too short, taken away by Coe. Playing towards the near side for Schaller. She can't catch up. A throw-in coming now for Elmhurst. Here's Bashan in the middle, broken up nicely by Rogers, and played ahead for Coe. Kupka. Taken away by Fredrickson. Fredrickson will play it back for the Blue Jays. Samantha Perry leaves for Belmonte on the near sideline, trying to spring Bashan down the middle. But that one's going to roll too far out of her reach over the end line for a goal kick. Elmhurst in the midst of a 3-game unbeaten streak. Besides the win at Marian, they sandwiched a tie against Aurora University. A 1-1 tie. Aurora scoring just 24 seconds into the game off the opening kick on a misplay by the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays did get the equalizer and then played up scoreless the rest of the way. Prior to that, they upended Westminster College 4-0 on the road. Their only loss of the year coming against Webster back on September 8th. Here's Biba Beckwith in the middle. Leaves for Amy Bashan. Back to Beckwith. In the middle, headed on by Belmonte. Bashan will be able to get there before it reaches the corner. Amy Bashan on the ground into the box. Steered away, but right to the Blue Jays. Here comes a long shot out in front, and shooting it wide is Kelly Fredrickson. First shot of the game for either squad. As a turnover out in front of the net that time by Coe. Not what the Cohawks want to do in that situation. Is put the ball on the ground right back to the Blue Jays. Goal kick comes back the other way for the Blue Jays. Bashan putting some pressure on. Lisa Frank is there for the Cohawks. Bashan to Beckwith, tries to pull it down and control. Can't. Here's Katie Bashan in the middle. Now works far side to Gauchus. Gauchus playing on the ground. Steered away, though, and taken away by Coe and Jenny Snook. Snook can't clear. Katie Bashan to Beckwith. Beckwith fires and sends it wide. Another goal kick coming up here for Coe. Weems' kick comes all the way back to about the 45. Played on by Coe. Perry giving chase. Will play it back to Fitzpatrick. Will control it and play it right back to Perry as she tries to come up the near sideline. Perry passing it ahead to Pimmel. Pimmel is met there by Fatala, leading goal scorer for the Cohawks with 6 on the season. Here's Fatala in the middle still with room. Fires it into the box. It's going to one-hop right into the arms of Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick bangs it away downfield. A lot of action in the middle of the field so far in the opening 7 minutes. Officially off the clock now. 38 left in the opening half. Headed on by Fatala, looking for some help for Kupka. Broken up nicely by the Blue Jays. But steered out of play by Fredrickson. A throw-in coming here for Coe. Labin looking for Fatala overhead, brought down by the Blue Jays and played out by Elmhurst. Lob to open field for Schaller. Met by Beckwith, and back the other way comes Elmhurst. Controlled by Geimer, looking for Belmonte up the left side. Elmhurst with numbers if they hurry. Belmonte playing ahead and broken up nicely by Coe as Amy Bashan was on a sprint onside right up the seam and nicely steered away by Courtney Rogers. Rogers, a 5'4 junior, listed as a forward, playing a defensive spot right now for the Cohawks. Here's Schaller. Over to Janchek. Perry fires it off of a Coe player, off of Tala for an Elmhurst throw-in. Belmonte will pull it down, double-teamed. Puts it on the ground for Amy Bashan. Bashan working to the end line, sends it in, but shoots it out of play. Another goal kick here for Weems. Just a couple of shots in the game so far, 2 for the Blue Jays, neither one on net. One shot, it was on goal for Coe, but it was pretty harmless. One hopped into Fitzpatrick. Elmer steers the goal kick out of play. Another throw-in for Coe. They lob for Vitala. Headed down by Fredrickson. In the middle, here's Beckwith. Now Pimmel for the Blue Jays. Pimmel for Belmonte. Able to maintain control momentarily, but steered back the other way by Jenny Snook and co. Fatala met by Pimmel. Leaves it on the ground. Beckwith is there for the Blue Jays. So is Pimmel. Nowhere to go right now for Tessa Holm. Co will play it back. Now up the far side looking for Danica Mason. Elmhurst is there defensively. Co is going to move backwards and try to reset on offense here. Snook will fire it forward towards the far side of the field. Will roll over the sideline. Throw in coming for Elmhurst. Sydney Gauchis will have the honors for the Blue Jays. On the ground, here's Biba Beckwith. Looking for Amy Bashan. Bashan has it at the 25. Streaking it is Geimer. Geimer works around one defender. Now slides it over to Pimmel. Pimmel tries to fire it on goal, but it's blocked away out of bounds by Lisa Frank. Throw in coming for the Blue Jays. Kelly Fredrickson to toss it in for Elmhurst. Headed on into the box by Bashan, but right into the arms of Weems. Weems will boot it away for the Cohawks. Here's Bashan. Trying to send it in off of a co-defender. Another throw in from the far sideline for the Blue Jays. Amy Bashan has it poked away again. Hannah Torrey is the defender on Bashan on the far side. Lob in comes to Belmonte. And here's a chip into the box right there, headed on by the Blue Jays, and off the goalpost was Pimmel. Elmhurst had the best scoring chance of the day as Pimmel hit Drew Iron and it's taken away by Co. Shannon Pimmel out in front trying to clean up the header by the Blue Jays and just missed, giving the Jays a 1-0 lead. Instead, we remain scoreless. Almost 12 and a half minutes off the clock, 32:30 left to play. Beckwith plays it behind her. And a player down. That'll stop the clock here. See who the shaken up player is on the far side for Co. I think that might be Lisa Frank. Walks off on her own power. Looks like she's going to be okay. But we will see our first substitution of the game now for Co. Looks like it's number 16, Peterson. Back underway. Check that it was Fatala who headed off, the leading scorer for Co, who is the player shaken up on the far side. Here's Co looking to counter. Mason in the middle. Her centering pass is broken up by Perry. At the feet of Morgan Geimer. Geimer hounded by Schaller. Sends it out of play. Throw in now for Co. Restart here by Co. Just about 31 minutes left to go in the opening half. It'll roll over the sideline here. Throw in for Co. as Peterson will leave it for Lisa Frank to come up and make the toss. Frank with the lob in, headed away by the Blue Jays. Open look out in front, but shot well wide by Mason, unable to get much on it. Throw-in upcoming for the Blue Jays. Fredrickson leaves for Katie Bastion in the middle. Finds Belmonte. Belmonte has Geimer all alone down the near side, but leaves her too far. Over the end line and a goal kick for Co. Weems boots it away. Saved. Kept in by Geimer, but sent ahead by Co. Perry is there to send it right back downfield. It's headed back into the box by Rogers. Weems will chase it down on the far side, just inside the box there, and pick it up. Weems bangs it downfield. Here's Peterson trying to get around Perry. She can't. Perry boots it right off the table on the far side of the field. Co trying to pressure down the far side with Janchek. Met there by Gauchis. Taken away by Gauchis. She'll play back to the Elmhurst defense where Perry shoots it downfield. Belmonte tries for the header. Instead, it's Snook who gets the head on it. But it goes out of play and a throw-in coming for the Blue Jays. This is Jenny Snook. Her pass intercepted by Beckwith. Beckwith in the middle of the field to Amy Bastion. Bastion shooting from about 35 yards out right at Kaylee Weems. An easy save for the co-keeper. Weems out to pick that one up at the top. Throw in for Co. Goes right back out of bounds, though, so it'll come back to the Blue Jays. Here's Amy Bastion. Plays it back with some room to work now as her sister Katie, but she leaves too far to the far sideline for Belmonte. Throw in for Co. Elmhurst has had some chances here. Closest look, Shannon Pimmel. Kissed one off the off the goalpost. Here's Snook. Pops that one straight into the air. Pressure put on by Gauchis, but booted back downfield. That'll bounce over the sideline. Another throw in near midfield for Elmhurst. Tossed by the Blue Jays. Kupka putting on some pressure for Co. Gauchis is there. Double teamed and a foul going against Shannon Pimmel. Working to the near side is Coe. Pass from Lisa Frank is too far. Throw in for Elmhurst. Geimer heads it back towards the middle of the field. Katie Bashan is there for the Blue Jays. They've got Beckwith springing free down the middle. Here's Biba Beckwith into the box. Beckwith leaves it back for Bashan. Bashan gets around the defender and tucks it into the back of the net. Great goal by Elmhurst. Amy Bashan from Biba Beckwith. It was set up by Katie Bashan's long pass, but Beckwith dribbled it in, drew in the defense, and tucked it right to Amy Bashan for the easy goal. Bashan from Beckwith. Goal number 5 on the season for Elmhurst's Amy Bashan. Coe will start things back off, and the Blue Jays have a quick 1-0 lead. So 1-0 Elmhurst after the goal from Amy Bashan. Give Biba Beckwith credit for the assist on the play. As she had a nice run down the middle. Give a little credit to Katie Bashan. Can't be a double assist play, but should get some of the credit there for springing Beckwith right down the middle with a great pass. Maddie Fitzpatrick will boom it away downfield. Crosses midfield, bounces right over the co-defender. Bashan is there for the Blue Jays, trying to get around her defender. She's got Geimer to the near side. Now she leaves it for Morgan Geimer. Geimer will keep it in and trying to center a crossing attempt, but it's blocked away by Lisa Frank. Comes back, and now a substitution for Elmhurst. Allie Siebel coming in for the Blue Jays. There's the long throw in, headed up in the air into the box. Beckwith gets a head on it, but it is saved by Weems. Jordan Clark was the other sub in for the Blue Jays. Elmhurst controlling on defense. Sliding ahead, here's Geimer. Geimer looking for Katie Bashan. Now Amy Bashan trying to hit Clark down the middle, but steered away by Coe. Hannah Torrey gets around Clark or Gauchus momentarily, but Elmhurst takes it away. Here's Biba Beckwith at midfield. Beckwith will play right in front of the Elmhurst bench, trying to keep it in, and doing so is Gauchus. It's touched back to her, but Coe is there to break things up. Hannah Torrey works to the middle, pressure coming from Amy Bashan, and headed back downfield by the Blue Jays, and booted out of play now by Coe. That one is across the street into the parking lot. Nice fan over there will help bring that ball back in. Here's the Blue Jays and Belmonte trying to start a run into the box on the far side. Puts on the brakes. Hounded by Snook. Belmonte maintains control. Firing back for Clark. Led her too far behind her. Pass broken up. But now Elmhurst recontrols Katie Bashan. Bashan leaves for Fredrickson. Works it towards the near sideline. Tries to come back middle. Here's Clark. Clark with a long boot and sends it wide. Substitution now for Coe. 11 for 22. That's Lauren Lee entering the game. Bastion stood up by Snook. Fredrickson with the long ball, headed into the air by Coe. Brought down by Geimer. Geimer does a nice job to keep it in at the feet now for Fredrickson. Here's Angelo. Siebel will send it back downfield, headed on by Beckwith, but into the box. Coming out and playing at the top is Weems. Biba Beckwith playing it towards the far side. Coe is there to intercept and send it back downfield. We're at 20 minutes exactly left in the opening half. 1-0 Elmhurst. Beckwith has it in the midfield. Leaves it for Clark. Clark has it taken away by Jenny Snook. Steered out of play. Throw in coming here for Elmhurst and Kelly Fredrickson. There's Coe down the far side. Elmhurst with a 1-0 lead coming on Amy Bastion's 5th goal of the season. She was a double-digit goal scorer last season for the Blue Jays. A first-team all-conference selection as well. Picking up right where she left off. 5 goals and a national leading 9 assists on the season. Here she is again on the far sideline for the Blue Jays. Leaves for Belmonte. Belmonte plays it back towards midfield, trying to find Geimer. Check that, trying to find Clark, rather, was the trailer on the play. Instead, here's Coe. Trying to bring it down is Kupka. She does, but bounces right back to the Blue Jays. Here's Clark. Sending it to the far side. Belmonte's got an open run. Jackie Belmonte, with time, sends it in on the ground. It's broken up, though, by Coe and steered back out of harm's way by Torrey. But Katie Bastion is there to intercept for Elmhurst. Centering pass is headed down by Coe and Frank. Bastion controls again, though. Not out of harm's way. Shooting and over the top of the box, or over the top of the net, rather, is Katie Bastion, sending it just high. Throw-in coming for Coe on the far side. Jordan Clark is there for the Blue Jays. Has Fredrickson open on the near sideline. Fredrickson brings it up for the Blue Jays. Now sends it into the box. It's going to one-hop right at Weems. Weems able to pull it in and boots it downfield. Throw in now for the Blue Jays. Fredrickson looking for Geimer. It pass eludes her. Goes off of Geimer now, and a throw-in coming for the Blue Jays. Allie Siebel bangs it downfield, headed away by Frank. Schaller has it, controls for the Cohawks, plays it back where it's booted on. But Coe has it at midfield. Now here's Beckwith. Works around one defender. Beckwith with a slight break, looking for some help down the far side. Will send it towards Belmonte, but well out of her reach. Over the sideline and a throw-in. Substitutions now set for both teams. 15:20 left on the clock in the opening half. It's 1-0 Elmhurst. Glad you're with us here on BlueJayTV.com. Doubleheader of soccer to bring you today. Coe versus Elmhurst. The men are up next. Couple of subs for each team. Brittany Veman in for Coe. Emily Heimerdinger in for the Blue Jays as Amy Bashan has a seat. Angelo heads it for Clark, but too high. Hannah Torrey is there. Her boot up in the air midfield, brought back down by Coe. Here's Jenny Snook looking to get around Clark, and does, where she is stood up and met with a hard foul that time by Gauchus. Bounces up okay. Whistle against the Blue Jays now. And Coe will restart on their side of the field. Headed on, Siebel trying to steer it away for the Blue Jays defense, and does so, but out of play. Throw in for Coe, right in front of their bench. Lob comes down to Snook. Snook will put it back, send it back towards the box, headed down by the Elmhurst defense, but controlled by Yanchik. And a whistle and a foul goes against Yanchik. Here's Coe looking to get something going on offense, but unable to control is Hannah Torrey down the far sideline. Throw in now comes back to Coe. Elmhurst sends it out. Yanchik sends it forward. Fitzpatrick will come over and put pressure on, and now just watch it roll over the end line for a goal kick. Substitution now for the Blue Jays. Heading out is Clark. I believe that's Louisa Reese into the game for Elmhurst. There's the Blue Jays trying to mount another attack. Morgan Geimer up the near side, plays it back towards the middle, but it is booted away, but over the end line, and a corner kick coming up for Elmhurst. Geimer will take the corner kick for the Blue Jays. Sends it in, headed down by Elmhurst, where it will roll out, and a goal kick resulting for Weems. Fit just under 11 minutes to go in the opening half. 1-0 Elmhurst. Blue Jays looking for victory number 6 here on the season. Booting it away is Weems, quickly headed back down by the Blue Jays. Here comes Garitano for Elmhurst on the far sideline. Works to put it back into the middle. Couldn't quite connect with Heimerdinger. Scooped up by Weems. Foul going to be whistled here on Elmhurst. A throw incoming. Or excuse me, rather a restart for Co. Headed down by the Blue Jays. Coming over and grabbing is Veman for Co, but can't control. Out of bounds. Elmhurst with a throw-in. Veman putting on some pressure for Co. Angelo maintains control for the Blue Jays. Comes back the other way for Co. Now here's Beckwith at midfield. Beckwith plays it towards the far sideline. Here comes Garitano charging hard down the far side. She will not be able to get there and keep it in play. Over the sideline, throw-in coming for Co. Substitution now as well for the Cohawks. Looks like Sally Weisinger is in for Co. Angelo just going to let that one roll over the sideline for a throw-in. Approaching 8 minutes to go in the opening half. 1-0 Blue Jays. This the fourth ever meeting between Elmhurst and Co. in women's soccer. The Blue Jays lead it 3-0. Have won every game in the series. On the ground looking for Heimerdinger. Too far. A throw-in coming now for Co. Two teams have not met since the 2004 season. Elmhurst with a 2-1 victory over Co then. There's Hannah Torrey booting it into the air. Headed down by Elmhurst, but in the open space is Caitlin Yanchek for Co. Snook trying to start something up the far sideline. Weisinger's boot goes right off of Reese out of bounds. Beckwith intercepts the throw-in with a header. But it's recontrolled by Co. Here's Snook looking for the long ball to the near side and Mason. And now Co with some numbers. Up the middle they go as Yanchek, broken up by Elmhurst, now trying to get on, trying to spring Mason, and offsides is Co. Ball just took one extra deflection off of Elmhurst, and Co almost with a break there, but could not stay onside. Siebel will boot it downfield for the Blue Jays. Beckwith brings it down for Elmhurst. Geimer trying to leave it in the middle for Katie Bashan, broken up nicely by Coe. Now Coe with a chance here to the near sideline. Allie Siebel is there to send it downfield. Geimer not able to keep it in play. Throw-in coming on the defensive end of the field for Coe. They go short right at the feet of Snook. Try to steer it forward to Kupka, but it's intercepted by Elmhurst. Now played to the far sideline for Kelsey Jasinski. The linesman saw it as a co-throw-in, but our center referee says no. That's an Elmhurst throw-in. It went off the co-player's foot. That throw-in off of a co-player, and Blue Jays will redo it here up about 10 yards. Here's Reese in the center of the field for the Blue Jays. Hounded by Snook defensively. Reese will play it back to the far sideline. Garitano can't keep it in, and it will result in a co-throw-in as we hit under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Ball is deflected. Now a throw-in for Coe. Steered back by the Blue Jays. Heimerdinger brings it down, looking to set something up for the Blue Jays. She's got Beckwith trailing. Beckwith looking in the middle for Garitano. Did it go off a co-player? Yes, it did. Second corner kick of the game for the Blue Jays. Morgan Geimer will have the honors once again for Elmhurst. Geimer looking for Katie Bashan, trying to head it down past Weems, but just missing the connection. Comes all the way over the sideline here on the near side, and a throw-in for Coe with 3:45 left on the clock in the opening half. Beckwith works back to Katie Bashan. Angelo, touch pass back to Reese. Reese at about the 25-yard line, trying to work her way free. Instead, we'll play it to the far side to Jasinski. Jasinski stood up. Now here's Katie Bashan. Bashan met by a host of co-defenders, and coming back the other way is Caitlin Janchek. Janchek still controls. Allie Siebel is going to get there for the Blue Jays. Looking for Beckwith, has her. Beckwith plays it to the near sideline to Heimerdinger. One-on-one for Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger works around her defender, works it right back to the middle, puts it on the ground with the shot, but right into the arms of Weems for the easy save. 11th shot of the game for the Blue Jays. Just 2 for Coe. Veman. Her pass taken away by Angelo. Angelo back to Katie Bashan, back to Beckwith. Beckwith will look for Garitano to the near side. Not quite enough on that pass to get there, though, as Lisa Frank is able to get there first and steer it out of play. 2:15 left in the opening half. Remains 1-0 Elmhurst. Popped into the air by Elmhurst. Katie Bashan is there for the Blue Jays. It goes off of Bashan. A throw-in now for Coe. Siebel will boot it downfield, looking for Heimerdinger. Popped into the air by Coe's defense. Lauren Lee working on Heimerdinger. A collision and a foul going to go against Elmhurst. Cole will put it back in play with 1:05 to go. We are under a minute now. Allie Siebel controls for the Blue Jays. Plays it towards the far side. Taking her time is Jasinski. Middle of the field, Reese. Lays for Geimer. Geimer trying to dribble up for the Blue Jays. 35 seconds to go. Back to Reese. Working on Weisinger. Reese finds Beckwith. Bashan plays it back to Fredrickson. Fredrickson near side to Garitano. Met by two defenders. Garitano chips it in, and it almost gets past Weems, but she's able to recover and scoop it up. With just 14 seconds to go, that might do it for the half. We'll have one more boot from Weems. Good kick as she bangs it all the way across midfield. Angelo will pull it down, trap it, send it back to Jasinski, and that'll do it for the half. The score at the half, Elmhurst 1, Co 0. The goal coming from Amy Bashan. So it's Blue Jays 1, Quahog 0. We are going to step out for halftime. We'll come back for the second half of action. You're watching BlueJayTV.com. Back live on BlueJayTV.com. I'm Kevin Judah as we're bringing you live Elmhurst College women's soccer action. The Blue Jays versus the Co-College Quahawks. Elmhurst leading 1-0 after the opening half, with a goal from Amy Bashan, the only tally of the game. Elmhurst getting set to start the second half. Looks like the same lineup on the field for the Blue Jays. We'll take a look at Co here momentarily. And we're underway. There's Elmhurst on the defensive side. That's Katie Bashan. Met by a couple Quahawks. Elmhurst playing it for the far sideline, but there to intercept is Lisa Frank. Like starters are back in for both teams. Cross into the box is broken up by Weems. In the middle, played on, but offsides. Elmhurst, Morgan Geimer with a good run. But offsides. Second game of action coming up next on BlueJayTV.com. Elmhurst College men's soccer team takes on Co. Here's Morgan Geimer. Geimer playing it on the ground for Belmonte, trying to catch up to it, but unable to do so. But off Co-defender sends it off her own teammate, so it's out of bounds to the Blue Jays, or just steered out of play by Co, rather. Throw-in comes to the feet of Belmonte. Here comes the chip into the box, headed into the air by Bashan, and off the football goalpost, so it is a dead ball there, not off the crossbar coming down. That hit the football goalpost directly above the net. So Weems will restart, low line drive kick. Steered down by Katie Bashan. Elmhurst on the attack one more time. Perry will steer it down to Fredrickson to the near side. Fredrickson looking for Geimer, but Geimer can't catch up to it in time. Out of play. Throw in for Co. Headed into the air by Bashan. Banged downfield by Snook, but it will roll all the way over the sideline. That throw in coming for Elmhurst. Opportunity there for Kupka, but she stood up by Angelo, and a foul going to be whistled on Kupka. Elmhurst will quickly restart. Line drive kick and a collision here and a whistle, and we're going to have a foul. That's going to go against Coe. So, he's going to go against Elmhurst, rather. It's like the Blue Jays were setting up, but the official points the other way. Mike Valsamis in the middle. Pavlovija and Prim Kumar are the officials today. Coe with an opportunity down the middle, but steered away by Fredrickson. Courtney Rogers' pass taken away by Elmhurst. Here's Geimer looking down the middle for Beckwith. Beckwith is able to control, bounce it to the far sideline. Can Belmonte get there and keep it in? No. It's out of play, and a throw-in coming for Elmhurst. For the Cohawks, rather. See, Coe's men's team has arrived behind the Coe bench, starting to stretch out a little bit. They're coming up next on Blue Jay TV, the Elmhurst men and the Coe College men. Game 2 of our soccer doubleheader from Langhorse Field. Katie Bashan for Beckwith. Beckwith plays back to Gauchus, chipped into the box, where it's volleyed out of the air by Snook, but over the end line, and a corner kick for Elmhurst now. Amy Bashan will take it for the Blue Jays. Started her approach, now begs off. She'll restart it one more time. Here it comes. Line drive into the box, headed back to the middle by Elmhurst, but broken up by Coe, a whistle and a foul, probably going against the Blue Jays. Player slow to get up for Coe is Kupka, but she's okay. Did see Sarah Fatala back out on the field for Coe in the second half. She was shaken up in the first. Headed back the other way, brought down by Geimer for Elmhurst. Geimer stood up nicely, slowed down by Janczek. Here's Gauchus with the boot, crossing back in, headed in, flicked on by the Blue Jays and Shannon Pimmel, but wide of the net, and there to scoop it up is Weems. 6 minutes gone by in the second half. Still 1-0 Elmhurst. Blue Jays out shooting Coe 12-2 in the contest. Not a lot of scoring opportunities for the Cohawks so far. Got a throw in for Coe on the far sideline. Lobbing it in, looking in the middle for Kupka, but stood up and met by a few Elmhurst players. Kupka pressing on, turned back again by the Blue Jays. Now here's Tessa Holm trying to help out. Met by Angelo and brought to the far side for Gauchus. Pimmel will head it down. Angelo will send it over to Geimer to the near side. Back to Katie Bashan, and now Fredrickson controls. Fredrickson will line it downfield, intercepted by Beckwith. A little give-and-go try by the Blue Jays. Broken up nicely by Mason and Coe. Angelo looking for Beckwith, steered away by Coe. Long ball sent downfield by Mason. That'll come all the way back into the box. Fitzpatrick will play it with her feet, walk it back to the middle. Plenty of time now, a little pressure from Fatala, and so Fitzpatrick will pick it up and boom it downfield. Nearly a collision between Perry and Gauchus on the far side. Perry with the header. Elmhurst controls. Looking for Pimmel in the middle. It gets past her, but there is Bashan. Bashan sending it all the way far side. Staying on side is Geimer. Geimer with the blast, but right into the arms of Weems. Co-defender was looking for the flag, but spent too much time looking at the referee, and Geimer got around her and had the angle. Geimer able to get a little power behind it, but it was right at Weems. Not a lot of movement on that kick. Courtney Rogers plays it back to the middle for Snook. Back to Torrey. Picked off by Beckwith, but quickly steered right back by Snook. Katie Bashan traps it down to her feet. But Coe is there to intercept. Here's Caitlin Janchek sending it forward, looking for Fatala. It's going to get a bounce into the box. Fitzpatrick coming out to the top of the box to pull it down for Elmhurst. Whole slew of Blue Jays starting to stretch out on the far side. I see 7 or 8 different Blue Jays jogging down the far side. Could see some mass substitutions here in the second half for the Blue Jays. I'm sure head coach Paul Webster would like to get an insurance goal first. Here's Amy Bashan trying to get around 2 defenders. Can't do it. Torrey wins the battle, but then flicks it out of play. Throw in from the far side is Gauchus. Alicia Schaller sent back into the box by the Blue Jays. Schaller controls, now leaves it down for Kupka. Only person there is Fatala, and broken up nicely by Perry. Snook stood up by Bashan. Bashan plays it back for Gauchus in front of the Elmhurst bench. There's Samantha Perry. She'll line it down the field, and the foot race is on, but it will roll too far out of the reach of Pimmel, all the way back to the box where Weems is there to pick it up. Weems drop kicks it away. Volleyed down by Beckwith. Controlled now by Belmonte. Belmonte with some numbers if she hurries. Played ahead to some open space. Bashan can't get there for the Blue Jays. Courtney Rogers is there for Coe. Rogers now to Janchek. Stood up by Bashan, and a foul goes against Janchek. .33:40 left on the clock in the second half. Elmhurst leading 1-0. Geimer leaves it bouncing into the box, and coming out to meet it is Weems. Here's Morgan Geimer operating on the far sideline. Tries to get around her defender, and she does. Gets across into the box. Weems can't handle it, but now is able to recover. Right into the hands of Weems, but she dropped it. It rolled back out in front, but a good recovery by the freshman goalkeeper of Coe. Not a shot, just a crossing that time. Glad you're joining us here on Blue Jay TV. We hope you stick around. Game 2 of this doubleheader is up next. The men from Elmhurst and the men from Coe will go at it here on Langhorse Field. Geimer with a run down the far sideline, steered away by Rogers. Rogers will play it into the Coe bench, throw in for Elmhurst. Flag goes up from the foul side, a foul, and now some whistle as two players tangled up over there. Geimer was in there for Elmhurst. I think that was Frank, and for Coe, the foul is going to go against Frank. That is Amy Bashan going to take the free kick for the Blue Jays. Bashan with the chip shot, headed down, looking for Belmonte, but Belmonte was clearly offside that time. Flag comes up, and Cole will take it from the top of the football end zone. 31:15 left on the clock now in this contest. Elmhurst defense, Samantha Perry sends it to the far sideline looking for Amy Bashan, but led her too far out of bounds. Throw in now for Coe. Controlling is Jenny Snook for the Cohawks. Ball's played to the near side to Torrey. Torrey with a step around, a couple touch passes here into the middle, but a little miscommunication. I think they were looking for Mason to come streaking in. It'll roll all the way over the end line. And a goal kick coming up here for Maddie Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick puts the boot on it, bangs it downfield. Looks like they're going to call a handball on the Blue Jays. Coe looking for a quick restart, but official says no, not that quick. Got to let the team set up here a little bit. So we'll be at about the 25-yard line. Jenny Snook will take the kick for Coe. Now the official going to back up the Elmhurst wall a little bit. Got to come all the way back to the 15. Still a couple yards. There's Snook sending it through. The box gets around the wall, but just steered wide. Couldn't quite connect to either of the co-players coming in on the far side. And a goal kick for Fitzpatrick. Probably one of the best offensive chances Coe's had on the day. Maddie Fitzpatrick does have one save. It was a pretty easy one on a little two-hopper that came in. Patrick bangs it about 40 yards downfield. Steered out of play by Coe, and a throw-in coming for Elmhurst right in front of the table. Here's Shannon Pimmel. Plays it from the far side to the near side, going across the field to Geimer. Geimer back to Alyssa Angelo. Leaving it forward for Pimmel. Now here's Gauchus on the far sideline. Back to Bashan. Chipping it ahead, looking for Belmonte. She's met there by Holm. Can't clear it, though. Katie Bashan back to Gauchus, and Gauchus will reset back to Perry. Perry to Katie Bashan. Looking for her sister, Amy. She's got her. Here comes Amy Bashan with the long blast, and that's going to bounce wide of the net. Couple substitutions for both teams. Allie Siebel back in for Elmhurst. Brittany Veman returning for Coe. That'll stop the clock. Not sure why, but let's see if we just... Official signal to stop the clock. Not sure what the sure is. There's an injured player shaking up, maybe some blood on the co-player. We are going to have a substitution here. Weisinger is going to come in. Lisa Frank's going to go out. Clock's going to restart here on the kick. And here we go. Amy Bashan plays it back to Sydney Gauchis on the far side. Gauchis playing it towards the corner. Pimmel giving chase, trying to get there and keep it in. She cannot. And a throw-in for the Cohawks. Elmhurst quickly putting some pressure on, taken away by the Blue Jays. Centering a pass is knocked down by the leg of Holm. Popped up out of play, though, and another throw-in for Elmhurst. Gauchis lobs in for Bashan, too far. Over the sideline and a throw-in again. Morgan Geimer with the throw. That's Gauchis with the throw-in for Elmhurst. It bounces around off the Blue Jays, and it'll be now a throw-in going the other way for Co. We had 26 minutes left on the clock here in the second half. Elmhurst still leads at 1-0. Amy Bashan's strike in the first half on a breakaway from Biba Beckwith. The only tally of the game so far. Blue Jays have knocked on the door several times. Shannon Pimmel hit the post in the first half. Elmhurst controlling the tempo, however, outshooting Co 14-2. Not a lot of good scoring chances for the Cohawks here. You had that free kick a little while ago. Maybe their best one of the game so far. Here's Beckwith. Sends it all the way downfield. She may have had Morgan Geimer to the near side, but center let her too far. Bounces into the box, scooped up by Weems. Weems will boot it downfield, volley down by Beckwith. Here's Snook sending it across the field for Weisinger. Intercepted by Gauchis. Gauchis played ahead to Belmonte, trapped down, looking for the feet of Bashan. It goes off of a co-defender. Throw in for the Blue Jays, and here comes several subs for Elmhurst. 3 for the Blue Jays, 1 for Co. I'll make that a couple for Co now. There's a few late substitutions coming in. Well, 3 Blue Jays you saw in the first half. Garatano is back there for Elmhurst. Heimerdinger in as well. Here's Allie Siebel back on the defensive side for the Blue Jays. Plays ahead at the feet of Katie Bashan. Bashan looking for Belmonte. Has her, but she's met by a couple of co-defenders. Ball pops loose, sent ahead, where it's taken away by Co. Lisa Frank. Sliding away by the Blue Jays. Siebel now has it. Siebel with the big boot downfield. Belmonte has it. She stays onside. Belmonte with the shot, and into the net it goes. Jackie Belmonte stayed onside on the far side. Allie Siebel hit her with the pass, and Belmonte connects over the outstretched arms of Weems. 2-0 Blue Jays. Season goal number 6 for Belmonte. And we'll restart here again with 23:18 left on the clock. Here's an opportunity for Coe, but too far in front. It'll come to the feet of Fitzpatrick. She'll stop it and now pick it up. Ball over the sideline. Throw in coming for Coe. Here's Courtney Rogers, leaves it at the feet of Mason. Or check that, make that Torrey. Torrey up the near side. Looked like it trapped down by Katie Bashan, ahead to Garitano. Garitano works around one defender, now leaves it near sideline for Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger has Amy Bashan in the middle, working on Rogers, and it'll go over the sideline for a throw-in for Elmhurst. Kelly Fredrickson will toss it in for the Blue Jays. Looks for Reese in the middle, headed down by Coe. Not out of harm's way yet. Bashan intercepts it. Bashan steps around a defender, has got some space. Katie with the turn and the cross, brought down by Weems. Still loose in the box. It comes right back to Bashan. She shoots again, and Weems is there to scoop that one up. Couple of good opportunities that time for Elmhurst. The 16th shot of the game for the Blue Jays. Just 2 now for Coe still. Back now is Coe trying to send it in down play and headed down, and with the Coe with an opportunity. The ball looks like it's going to roll over the end line, though. Not able to quite get control is Fatala. It'll come down, so Fitzpatrick will restart on a goal kick. 20 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in this contest. Maddie Fitzpatrick will put it in play. Glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV today. Like we said, stick around. Game 2 coming your way next to this doubleheader, as Coe and Elmhurst on the men's side will do battle. Blue Jays 4-3 coming off a win versus Coe 3-4. That'll start shortly after the conclusion of this contest. Elmhurst, Alyssa Angelo playing to the far sideline for Perry. Perry leading too far. And a throw-in coming here for Coe. Coe trying to put some pressure on here. Headed down by the Blue Jays, steered ahead. Now Reese is there to intercept. She'll chip it forward. And alertly just steered over the sideline by Torrey. Roll all the way out in front. And a throw in for Elmhurst. 18.5 minutes to go. The Blue Jays in a comfortable position, up 2 goals. For the most part, controlling the tempo of this contest, outshooting Coe 16-2. Elmhurst already with several shutouts on the year, looking for number 5 on the year. Here's a little give and go. Garitano has it. Leaves it on the far sideline for Bastion. Chip shot line drive coming and just missed the connection with Belmonte out in front. Good look that time from Bastion as she was trying to connect with Belmonte and just missed her. So Weems will restart here with 17:45 left. Volleyed out of the air by Katie Bastion, headed down by Belmonte. Now here's Amy Bastion trying to come into the box, but it's broken up and steered out of play by Hannah Torrey. Throw in for the Blue Jays. It'll be Kelsey Jasinski. Lobs it towards the feet of Bastion. It'll come all the way back out. Katie Bastion controls to Garitano. Comes back to Reese. Room to the outside. Here's Perry. He's trying to start a run, but pass from Reese too far in front. Out of play. Substitutions now for Coe. Tessa Holm back in for Coe. Schaller comes back as well. Here's Jasinski. Lining one up. Sends it into the box, but it's steered away by Coe. Garitano is there for the Blue Jays, but met by a couple of Coe defenders. Coe still can't clear. Centering pass attempt for Elmhurst, controlled at the feet of Bastion. Wins it right back. Here's a line drive coming from Katie Bastion, but well wide. '18th shot of the contest for the Blue Jays. Out shooting Coe 18-2. 3 corners for the Blue Jays, none for Coe so far. Katie Bastion heads the goal kick back down, but it's volleyed ahead by Torrey. Siebel is there to collect for the Blue Jays, though. Plays some space, and Katie Bastion back to Siebel. Flicked on by Belmonte. Knocked down by Reese. Chip shot to the far side will roll over the line. It'll be another goal kick opportunity here for Coe. Coe Hawks find themselves down 2-0 with under 15 minutes to go now. Weems will send it back downfield. Trapped down by Katie Bastion. Leaves for Jasinski. Working on the near side, Jasinski. For Belmonte. Can't connect with her. Siebel is there. Angela is going to get whistled for a foul here. She a little too much contact with Fatala. So a restart just across midfield for the Cohawks. Good ball. Perry's clearing attempt kept in. Goes off an Elmhurst player. Still alive in the box for Coe. Knocked around a couple times. Still not cleared. And Siebel finally able to steer it out. And the long drive coming and shot well wide by Hannah Torrey. Garetano tripped up, and it'll be a foul call now on Coe. Ball sent all the way downfield. Some more substitutions now as it rolls out. Another goal kick coming here for Coe. Weisinger heads out. Mason returns. On the ground where it's met by Ali Seibel. Ahead to Reese. Reese to Jasinski. Back to Angelo. Garetano coming back for it. Here's Perry trying to start a run to the far side. Boots it downfield now. Morgan Geimer giving chase for the Blue Jays. It will stay in play. Geimer controls and will bring it out to Shannon Pimmel. Pimmel's blast in front goes off of Reese, connected back by a few co-players. Trying to fling it on. And Fitzpatrick going to come all the way out and boot that one downfield as Fatala may have had a breakaway chance. Fitzpatrick, nice play, alert play, making sure to eliminate any chance of a breakaway. A good almost 15 yards out of her box. There was a foul called on Elmhurst in front of the near sideline, so Coe will restart over there. Approaching 11 minutes on the dot now in this contest. At the feet of Jenny Snook, works around one defender, and now taken away by Elmhurst where tripped up is Perry. Elmhurst will restart just in front of their own bench. Looking for Bashan in front, not there. But here's Shannon Pimmel. Trying to work around a defender. Nice broken up nicely by Schauer. Schauer's pass is intercepted by Elmhurst. Ball bounces free to Amy Bashan. Back to Reese. Reese leaves it a little touch pass, just a little too long, trying to spring Heimerdinger down the middle. Couldn't quite do it. Here's Janchek playing it wide. It will roll over the sideline, though, unable to catch up to it is Torrey, and a throw in for the Blue Jays. More substitutions now for Elmhurst. Pimmel comes out. Katie Bashan comes back in. There's Heimerdinger trying to center it into the box. It's broken up nicely by Coe. Little miscommunication and a takeaway for the Blue Jays. Reese to Amy Bashan. Bashan gets around her defender, sends the pass down in front. It's broken up by Reese. Here comes Katie Bashan with the drive and sends it through the football uprights. Amy Bashan going to come out now. Biba Beckwith back in for the Blue Jays. Under 10 minutes to go, under 9 minutes actually, 8:45 left on the clock. It's a handful of subs today used by the Blue Jays. Jasinski, Clark, seeing Reese, Heimerdinger, Seibel, and Garetano. Thought we might see a slew of them as we had Elmhurst had several more warming up on the far sideline, but still just a 2-goal game right now. It's a long drive by Geimer. It stays in play and will roll all the way back over the sideline here for a throw-in for Coe as we're closing in on the 8-minute mark. Here's the toss from Torrey. Janczek keeps possession for Coe. Ball bounces free, though, and Ali Seibel will hammer it downfield out of harm's way. Katie Bashan trying to trap it down, won by Angelo. And now here's Perry with some open space. Perry looks to the middle of the field for Heimerdinger. Has it. Reese is there now for Elmhurst. Katie Bashan for Garitano. Trying to keep it in as Jasinski, she will do so. With some time, does a nice fake, gets around her defender, and she's got a good look to send it in. And coming in low and taking away the angle that time was Weems. No chance on the crossing attempt by Jasinski as we're under 7 minutes to go. Battle on the far side, and now a whistle going to go against Coe. Bashan finds Beckwith in the middle of the field. Will play it back to Jasinski. Looking for Garitano, but too far. Throw in for the Cohawks as we hit 6:10 left on the clock. Coe's men's team back, coming out to the field now, getting set for their game. We'll be warming up just outside Langhorse Field. Garitano trying to keep it in. She cannot. Quick restart by Coe and some contact and a foul on the Blue Jays as Fatala hit the deck. Restarted by Snook. Met by Beckwith. Beckwith plays it to open space. No one there but 3 co-defenders. Heimerdinger will put some pressure on. Comes all the way back to Weems. Heimerdinger got a piece of it and not cleared yet by Coe. Still not cleared by the Cohawks and finally starting to move it upfield. Quickly intercepted by Reese, though. Reese to Beckwith. Pass is broken up. Katie Bashan will touch back to Perry. And now Elmhurst will control. Ali Siebel. Bangs it downfield. It's picked up by Morgan Geimer in front of the Coe bench, looking for Reese. Reese works around one defender, looking for a better angle. Comes right back, long drive coming, and that one's through the football uprights again. As Katie Bashan's missed high a couple of times. 4:15 all that's left on this clock. The Blue Jays look like they're about to pick up win number 6. Coe's going to need 2 very quick goals here with not a lot of time left on the clock. Some opportunity, a run by Coe from the outside. Seibel will knock it down and steer it towards the sideline. Turns and fires, keeps it in play, headed in the air by Fatala. Coe knocks it down, keeps it in play, but now it's picked up by the Blue Jays and Seibel. Biba Beckwith to the far sideline. Here's Geimer trying to get some speed to the outside. Whistle, the flag comes up on the far side. Contact. And they're going to whistle Morgan Geimer for the foul. 3:20 to go. Allie Siebel's there for Elmhurst. To Jasinski. Playing ahead to Heimerdinger, and come back to Jasinski, who manages to keep it in play. Hannah Torrey steers it the other way, though, for the Cohawks. Center of the field, it comes to Fatala, looking down the middle for Janchek, but met by a pair of Blue Jays. And Angelo able to get the turn and bring it back the other way for Elmhurst. Beckwith touched on to Reese. Now to the far side, here's Morgan Geimer. Morgan Geimer trying to turn on some speed. Up the far side, defended by Frank. And it's going to go off of Geimer. A throw-in for Coe. 2.5 minutes to go in this contest. Katie Bashan plays to the feet of Beckwith. Touchdown to Jasinski. Kelsey Jasinski works towards the near sideline. Comes back to the middle of the field for Reese. Little touch on to Katie Bashan, trying to work her way into the box. It's steered away by Coe. Back to Beckwith, though, at about the 30-yard line. Now here's Perry coming up from the defensive spot. Perry with a long drive. Right there is Weems to record the save. Trapped down by Snook. Headed into the air, though, and a whistle. And a foul on Elmhurst. Blue Jays closing in on the 1-minute mark. It's over the head of Siebel. It'll come all the way back into the goal box here as Maddie Fitzpatrick will wait for it. At her feet, kill off a little bit of time, and now scoop it up as some pressure put on by Janchek. Siebel to Jasinski as we're under a minute now as Elmhurst on their way to win number 6. Here's Perry. Works the space. Here's Katie Bashan now. Bashan with plenty of room. Bashan down the middle for Beckwith, but let her too far. One hop into the waiting arms of Weems. Boots it downfield, 30 seconds to go. Angelo to Katie Bashan, and will play back to Perry. Touched on to Reese. Reese plays to the near sideline to Geimer, and we're down to 15 seconds. That'll about do it here. As a throw-in coming up here for Coe. Under 10 seconds as Elmhurst is going to come away with the 2-0 victory. The Blue Jays' 5th shutout of the season, win number 6 on the year. As the Blue Jays move to 6-1-1, Coe falls to 5-2-1. Elmhurst in action again coming up. On the road this weekend, they'll travel to Rhodes College before kicking off CCIW play. That's next Saturday against Carthage College. Game time set for 1 p.m. That's going to take place right here at Langhorst Field. Fans, stick around. Game 2 of this doubleheader is coming your way. In about 20 minutes or so, we will have Elmhurst men's soccer versus Coe. That's coming your way next here on Blue Jay TV. In the meantime, final score of the women's game, Elmhurst 2, Coe 0. This is Kevin Jude saying so long. Thanks for watching on Blue Jay TV.